Yesterday we were observing Vijay Dashami or Lanka Vijay festival Mahotsav. Today also I saw on one ISKCON page where they're having Harikathas for different titis. So I checked, there also they wrote that when Hanuman came back from Lanka with the knowledge that Sita is there and with that necklace, and he gave information to Ramchandra, Bhagavan, and it is mentioned under a certain tree, then Ramachandra was very glad, very happy to get this knowledge, and he made one feast, one utsav, and they also decided that now they will go to Lanka to conquer Lanka and to rescue Sita. So yesterday I told that there are two conceptions. Some are saying Ravan was killed, but our Gurudev and Chaitanya Charitamrita, they are saying that it is the day when Ramachandra Bhagavan decided, along with his monkey army, to go to Lanka. And today is Mahadvadashi, fasting for Pashankusha Ekadashi. If there is some calculation, if Ekadashi Titi comes after sunrise, starts and ends before next sunrise, then it will not be complete. So it is called Vidha or impure. So Vaishnavas don't observe such Ekadashi. According to Hari Bhakti Vilas, Sanatana Goswami explained, but they will follow Mahadvadashi on next day. And there are also 4 kinds of Mahadvadashi. Again, depends on that, how sunrise and all this. So today's, according to our maths calculation for Slovenia, it is 3 Sparsha Mahadvadashi. And it is observed the same as Ekadashi. By giving up all enjoyments, by giving up all sinful activities, and with all good qualities, we have to remain near Krishna through service, especially through chanting his holy name. That we have to do. And according to calculation for this day, it is Dvadashi, so also today would come, means Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami, Raghunath Bhatta and Raghunath Das Goswami. But for these days, appearance and disappearance of Vaishnavas, we are following according to Indian calendar. So it will come tomorrow. So tomorrow I will explain, we will hear about the glories of those Vaishnavas. And according to India, because our Gurudev told that they appeared and disappeared in India, so you can observe thinking in that way, but it is not wrong to observe according to our calculation also. But now we have this system, but for Ekadashis and Mahadvadashis to calculate. And also today we started Kartik Vrata in our mat. There are 3 ways on Ekadashi, Dvadashi or Purnima to start, and then also finish accordingly. So we started today, and there are many sevas to be done during Kartik in a regulated manner. And one important limb also is to hear Bhagavatam. And in Hari Bhakti Vilas, Sanatana Goswami, he wrote and giving evidences from different scriptures that for Kartik it is especially beneficial or glorious to hear the rescue of Gajendra Moksa. You will get million times more benefit if you hear this topic during Kartik than on any other time. And it is very important because it teaches unconditional, complete surrender to Supreme Lord, and by which we can be rescued from this worldly bondage. And also Gajendra, he was praying for the eternal service of Bhagavan in his prayers. So our Parangurudev explained that verse of Srimad Bhagavad Gita where it says Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya chadushkritam. Supreme Lord appears in this world to protect the sadhus and to destroy the demons. And Parangurudev explained, Krishna is omnipotent. By his will, innumerable universes are created, and in a moment he can destroy, and they are maintained. So what is the difficulty? Only by his will he can destroy all demons. There is no need of him to personally appear. And this paritranaya sadhunam, sadhus are always protected by Sudarshan and by Supreme Lord like Prahlad Maharaj and like this. But what is then the real cause? It is also in Goswami's literature. The real cause is always the devotion of his devotees. They are feeling separation grief from him. They want his service. So in order to fulfill devotees' desires, he has to personally appear. Otherwise that separation grief cannot be removed. So by the fruit we can understand the tree. Like that, Narayan came to Gajendra. So we can understand what kind of surrender Gajendra had, and also he gave him that eternal service. So this topic is very important. And also our Gurudev told that why Supreme Lord made this lila? Because to show that once eternal nature of the soul is awakened or manifested, that causeless devotion to Krishna, it can never be actually destroyed. It may be covered for some time due to some reason, but it can never be destroyed. Sri Jiva Goswami also told in Sandarbhas, because we know from Chaitanya Charitamrita that example is given, one should be very careful about Vaishnava apparat. That is like mad elephant. If it enters that garden where the creeper of bhakti is growing, it will uproot it, destroy it. He gave this example. But Jiva Goswami in Sandarbhas, he told that if some devotee in any stage of his bhajan, development of bhajan, commits Vaishnava apparat, then his devotion will be blocked, stopped, covered. He will not be able to advance. But what he did, devotion, that seat of devotion and everything, it will be only covered. It will not be totally destroyed. When that offense will be understood and rectified and removed, then that devotee will start from where he left with that devotion. So in order to show this point, we can see in this history of, it is not a story. Our Gurudev did not like to use the word stories, from that story, this story, like fairy tale story, like something fictitious. They are actually facts. It is more appropriate to say history or past times, and they are also going on. So even if we say story, but we should not have misconception that this is some fictitious or some Gyanis Mayavadis, they will say that Puranas are like metaphors to give some teachings, and like this they cannot believe that actually Supreme Lord exists and like this. But it is not like that. Those who have it is not mythology, also Gurudev told. It is actually fact. But those who have transcendental eyes, they can perceive, they can see. So we will start today this Gajendra Moksha. It is in 8th canto, in the first chapter, towards the end of the chapter, where Shukadev Goswami was explaining about different appearances of Supreme Lord at different times. Then he also said that in Tamas Manvantar, Deva Vaidritayo Nama Vidrite Stanaya Nripa Nashtah Kalena Yayurveda Vidrita Svena Tejasa. O king, means Parikit, in the Tamas Manvantar, the sons of Vidriti, who were known as the Vaidritis, also became Devatas. Since in course of time the Vedas were lost, these Devatas protected the Vedas by their own powers. Tatrapi Jagye Bhagavan Harinyam Hari Medashaha Harir Ityachrito Jena Gajendro Mochito Grahat. In this Manvantar, the Supreme Lord took birth from the womb of Harini, the wife of Harimedha, and was known as Hari. Hari saved Gajendra from the mouth of a crocodile. Shri Rajovach Padarayana etat te shrotum ichamahe vayam Harir yatha gajapatim graha grastam amu muchat. King Parikit said, O Shukadev, I wish to hear from you how the king of the elephants, when attacked by a crocodile, was delivered by Hari. Gajendra is this name, king of elephants. Indra means chief or king. Gaja means elephant. At kathasu mahat punyam dhanyam swastyayanam shubham yatra yatro tamashloko bhagavan giyate hari. Among all the stories, you see here also story word is used, among all the stories in which the Supreme Lord is glorified, this story bestows great purity, glory, auspiciousness, and fortune. Shri Suta Uvach Parikshitaivam Satu Badarayani Prayo Pavishtena Katasu Choditaha Uvacha Viprah Pratinandya Parthivam Muda Muninam Sadasi Sma Shrinvatam. Suta Goswami said, O Brahmanas, when Parikshit Maharaj, who was awaiting impending death, thus requested Shukadev Goswami to speak, Shukadev, encouraged by the king's words, offered respect to the king and spoke with great pleasure in the assembly of sages who desired to hear him. As I told yesterday, we pick one flower and we offer it to Supreme Lord. Now when offered to the lotus feet of Supreme Lord, that flower also becomes transcendental. And it is Nirmalya, it is Prasad of Krishna. So we have to honor that. We cannot step on that, we have to put on head like this. With great respect, we should not step over it or throw just like anywhere like this. It is not proper because now it is used in the service of Krishna. So, like that, Guru also respects his disciple, because when he is offered to Supreme Lord and he engages in the service of Krishna, he also becomes respectful. So Guru should not exploit disciple for any personal gain or anything. Anyhow, Guru should already be on such level of purity that he is constantly engaged in the service of Krishna, and there is no desire for any exploitation or anything. So they have due respect to all. That is why here it is written, Shukadev Goswami offered respect to Parikshit Maharaj because he had devotion to Krishna. He wanted to hear for the satisfaction of Krishna. You will find in those limbs of devotion that Parikshit Maharaj is the emblem of Shravan Bhakti. He was not listening for the sake of acquiring some knowledge. Not for that. He was actually hearing about Krishna for his satisfaction, as a form of devotion to him, because he was surrendered soul to Shukadev Goswami, and he was hearing for the satisfaction of Krishna. That is why Shukadev Goswami also respects him. So this was in, and he was also very happy because he wants to sing the glories of Supreme Lord, Shukadev Goswami. He is the emblem of Kirtan Bhakti, to speak the glories of Krishna. This was in 8th Canto, chapter 1. Now, in the 2nd chapter, this is starting. Chapter 2, Gajendra fights with the crocodile. Shri Shuka Uvach. Asit Girivaro Rajams Trikuta iti Vishrutaha. Khiro de Navrita Shriman Yojanayutam Uchritaha. Shukadev Goswami said, O king, there was a beautiful, huge mountain called Trikuta, 10,000 yojanas high, surrounded by the ocean of milk. I am reading the commentary by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, because our Gurudev also during Kartik he used to read this and explain based on this one. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, this 2nd chapter describes the garden and lake at Trikuta mountain and Gajendra's remembrance of the Lord when attacked by the crocodile. Asit means there was. Asit means this mountain was, there was. Avata Vistritaha Paryak Tribih Shringeh Payonidhim Dishah Kam Rochayan Aste Rau Piyayasa Hiranmayai Anyaischa Kuku Kakubah Sarva Ratna Dhatu Vichitritei Nana Druma Lata Gulmeir Nirgosher Nirjaram Bhasam. The length and breadth of the mountain were of the same measurement as the height. In previous verse we came to know 10,000 yojanas means 80,000 miles high and breadth and length, 80,000 miles. Its 3 principal peaks, which were made of iron, silver and gold, beautified all directions, and the milk ocean. There are 7 types of oceans. We know only salty in this Mrityu Loka, this earth. But in heavenly, there are also ghee ocean, honey ocean, wine ocean, and other 7 are there. Other peaks, which were full of jewels and minerals and were decorated with trees, creepers, and shrubs, with sounds of the waterfalls echoing on the mountains, decorated the 8 directions. Here, Gurudev told that this is so big that our whole world can enter there. And in one cave, one continent can enter, like whole Europe can enter into one cave in Trikuta mountain. So big. And if someone would come to know, Gurudev said, in this world, about this mountain with the golden peak and silver peak, they would all come, all nations. They would come and they would fight for that, trying to seize that, capture that for their own purpose. And Gurudev said it is better not to go there because there will be great fight to exploit that. We should only think about this mountain. So iron, silver, and gold. Trikuta means this. 3 principal peaks. There are many other peaks also, and they are full of jewels and minerals. So it is very opulent mountain, and there will be fight among conditioned souls to capture that. Sa chavani ja manangri samantat paya urmibhi karoti shamalam bhumim harin marakatash mabhi. The mountain whose base was washed by waves of milk became green because of the emeralds scattered in all directions. This also we would become greedy to get all these jewels also. Ida charana gandharvair vidyadhara mahoragai kinareir apsarobishcha kriradbir jushta kandaraha. The Siddhas, Charanas, Gandharvas, Vidyadharas, serpents, Kinaras, and Apsaras played in the caves of the mountain. In Puranas, you will find, in Bhagavatam it is not, because already it is in other Puranas, about the characteristics of all these residents of heavenly planets. What are the characteristics? What Vidyadharas they are doing? What Gandharvas, they are musicians, and Apsaras, dancers, all this, there is a lot of description. This is also not fictitious. It is actually existing. Even devotees, when they get realization, they can also see those heavenly planets. They can see everything, but they are not attracted. But their system means these living entities are there. Yatra Sangita Sanadeir Nadad Guham Amarshaya Abhigarjanti Harayaha Shlaginah Para Shankaya. When the caves resounded with the singing of the Kinaras, the lions, proud of their strength, roared with unbearable envy, thinking that another lion was roaring. Our Gurudev explained that it is the nature of lion like that. He cannot tolerate any other powerful entity near him. Cannot. It is impossible. That is why you can never put 2 lions in the same cage. it is impossible. Naturally, it will be fight because he cannot tolerate. And our Gurudev also told that these lions, they were roaring, and because of the echo, their own echo, that sound was coming back, they thought it is some other lion. He's showing his influence. So this lion roared more loudly. And then echo also came more loudly. And this lion thought, oh, that lion is roaring louder, so I have to loud like this. They were roaring. Nanaranya Pashu Vrata Sankula, that is why also here in this verse Gurudev told, it is better not to go there. Only you imagine, you think about that mountain, because there's so many ferocious animals are there, so better only to think. Nanaranya Pashu Vrata Sankula Droni Alankritaha Chitra Druma Surodhyana Kalakanta Vihangama. The mountain had valleys filled with flocks of various forest animals and with birds singing sweetly in gardens of the Devatas filled with colorful trees. Rit Sarobhir Achodei Puliner Mani Valukei Deva Stri Majana Moda Saurabham Vaniler Yutaha. Saurabham Vaniler Yutaha. Trikuta mountain had many lakes and rivers with clear water and banks made of gems as sand. So not sand particles, but gems were there. And water is pure. Like in this world, before it was also pure. You could drink from lake, pond, river, you could drink. But nowadays, due to this degradation of Kali Yuga like this and pollution, you very rarely you can find some clear water. So all these filters and all these things necessary. But here it is clear water. The air and water was fragrant with the perfumes from the heavenly woman bathing there. Gurudev told, this is natural, their saurabh means scent. We in this world, we need some artificial, these perfumes and like this. But in those ladies, it is naturally they are having, their bodies are having fragrance. Tasya dronyam bhagavato varunasya mahatmanaha udyanam rituman nama akriram surayoshitam sarvato lankritam divyair nitya pushpa phala drumair mandareih parijateischa patala shoka champakai chuteih piyaleih panaseir amreir amratakeir api Kramukeir narikeleischa karjureir bija purakeir madukeir shalateleischa tamaleir asanarjunei aristodum bara plaksheir vateir kim shuka chandanei pichumardeih kovidarei saralei sura darubi drak Shekshu Ramba Jambubir Badari Aksha Bhaya Malay. In a valley of Trikuta mountain was the playground of the heavenly woman, garden belonging to the great devotee Varuna, called Ritumat. Varuna is demigod of water. Ritumat was this garden. One time, in one Kartik, I forgot where it was. Gurudev asked us in the audience, what is the name of the garden of Varuna? Because devotees every year they are hearing. So Gurudev asked. Then Bhuta Bhavan Prabhu from Batinda, he answered, Ritumat. Then Gurudev was happy and then he continued. Endowed with trees bearing flowers and fruits at all times. So not only at particular season, but at all times. Flowers and fruits. There were mandaras, parijatas. You know about this parijata flower. It is a big there in 10th canto about this parijata. Then patalas, ashokas, champakas, chutas, piyalas, panasas, mangoes, amritakas, kramukas, coconut trees, date trees, and pomegranates. There were madukas, palm trees, tamalas, asanas, arjunas, arishtas, udumbaras, plakshas, banyan trees, kimshukas, and sandalwood trees. There were also pichumardas, kovidaras, saralas, suradarus, grapes, sugarcane, bananas, jambu, badaris, akshas, abhayas, and amalakis. Some days back I told about that monkey on that tree eating that jambu fruit. Very sweet. And that crocodile, you remember, ultimately, due to selfish interest, that crocodile cheated his friend, but monkey was intelligent and he could rescue himself. Like that, we are all the time cheated in this world by others, their selfish interests, and we are also cheating ourselves by having this exploitation mood. But if we can surrender to Krishna, then Krishna will rescue us. He will give us that intelligence, the Dhammi Buddhi Jogam Tam Jena Mamupayantite. He will show us, if we submit to Him, He will show us how we can be rescued from others and from ourselves also, and attain our actual natural function, devotion to Him. Bilveich capiteir jambireir vrito palatacadibi tasmin sarah suvipulam lasat kanchana pankajam kumudot palakahlara shatapatra shriyorjitam matasat pada nirgushtam shakunteischa kala svanai hangsa karanadava kirnam chakrahveih saraserapi jala Kukuta koyashti datyuha kula kujitam matsya kachapa sanchara chalat padma rajahpaya kadamba veta sanala nipa vanju laker vritam kundei kurubakashokei shirisei kuta jengudei kubjakei swarna yutibir naga punaga jatibih Malika Shatapatraischa Madhavi Jalakadibhi Shobitam Tirajaischanye Nityartubhir Alam Drumeih. Mountain was covered with Bilva, Kapita, Jambira, and Balataka trees. There was a large lake with a shining golden mud, resplendent with lotuses, water lilies, shatapatras, and resounding with the buzzing of bees and cries of birds. The lake was filled with swans and ducks, and resounds with the cries of chakravakas, cranes, water hens, lap wings, and gallinules. The water was colored with pollen falling from lotuses shaken by the movements of turtles and fish. The lake was surrounded by canes, reeds, kadambas, nipas, and vanjulakas. Kundas, purubakas, ashokas, shirishas, kutajas, ingudas, kubjakas, svarnayutis, nagas, punagas, jatis, malikas, shatapatras, jalakas, madavilatas, and other trees with flowers growing in all seasons grew on the lake's bank. Here Gurudev explained, we may think, why we have to hear about these material things? Some mountain and description of so many trees like this. Gurudev explained, Shukadev has no time to waste because he's pure devotee, is constantly engaged in the service of Krishna, and also he has to tell to Parikshit Maharaj in 7 days. So he has no time to waste. Later on, we will come to know that if one hears about these all descriptions, we'll get devotion to Krishna. Why? Because in this place, Supreme Lord will appear. So everything becomes sanctified. So if you hear about the place where Supreme Lord appears, that is also devotion. So we should not think or be impatient why this like this. No, it is necessary. And Guru said that is why we have to hear attentively. Otherwise we will not get the full fruit. And Shukadev Goswami already knows this history. So he knows what Supreme Lord told at the end. So he narrated everything so that Parikshit Maharaj will get the full benefit. Here Gurudev said that he can recognize some names of the trees, but not all, and these flowers, not all. And in relation to this, Gurudev told that Dhanvantari is one avatar of Krishna. He brought forth the Ayurveda, the science of life. Gurudev told that type of curing given by Dhanvantari himself and those in his preceptorial channel, those who have perfect knowledge, there is it is sure that 100% you will be cured of any disease. Such science is that, perfect science. Because Supreme Lord, He is the one who created all this world. He knows what kind of diseases are there. He created them and how they will be developed and everything. And how this body works and everything is, He's omniscient. Now, by research, they're trying to come to know some things. But Supreme Lord is omniscient. He knows everything. That is why that cure was 100%. If you got from Dhanvantari or those in that age, now in Kali Yuga, Gurudev said it is that preceptorial channel purity is lost. So that perfect knowledge is not there, but still it will have some effect and it is better. He said because allopathic, they will only treat the symptoms of diseases, not actually find out the cause and uproot the cause. But Ayurveda goes, but it is misfortune of us people in Kali Yuga that knowledge was somewhat lost, but still it is there. So Gurudev gave example of one his god brother from Assam. First he was staying for some time in the mat as a brahmachari, then he married, and while he was in the forest for some wood or something, he got one, no, I forgot what happened, but somehow he got one fraction, something was, some accident was there while he was working for maintaining family. So it was very serious, and other people, they told him, you will have to go to Guwahati, that is capital of Assam, and to doctors, they will treat you, and it will take minimum 2 months or something. Otherwise, due to infection or something, you may die. Then he thought, I cannot, for 2 months, I have no time. I have to maintain my family, and like this, I will cure myself. Then others said, no, you cannot cure yourself. It's very serious. He said, no. Then he went to forest. He knew, he had that knowledge of different herbs, trees, and all this according to Ayurveda. He himself picked and he made his own treatment. And for 7 days, he took that, and with some pain also, he was crying, and some treatment is there. But after 7 days, he was already standing and could move. So it is, means effect is there. Our Gurudev also advised, even he gave me personally one time in Chandigarh. Gurudev was repeatedly asking me any difficulty, and I did not think of any difficulty, and also I did not want to now disturb Gurudev here, but repeatedly he was asking me. Then I was thinking, then I said, I have some constipation. Then Gurudev, yes, wait here. Then he went to room and he brought me one Ayurvedic medicine for that, for constipation, and it was half used already by him, means his prasad. So he gave me, and he gave all instruction how to take, and really it helped. That was very funny, and Gurudev was very eager to give. So if there is some good doctor and with the knowledge, then it is beneficial, and you will find many of Mahaprabhu's personal associates, they were Ayurvedic physicians by profession. Household devotees, grihastas. Grihasta should earn money to maintain his family. He cannot beg like ascetics. So he has to earn. So you will find many, they have this profession, like Murari Gupta and that Mukunda and others. You will find there appeared in Vaidya family in that Parshat book. So that is one kind of profession. Bhaktivinoda Thakur told devotees, household devotees, they should have some suitable profession according to Varna, Ashram, Dharma. It will be suitable. What they will do. So by that they will maintain their body and everything for the service of Krishna. And they will also be contributing to society. That is beneficial. Those which are proper professions, they are beneficial to society, and you can earn. So that is no problem. And Gurudev quoted, if you heard that Harikatha today, Pashankush Ekadashi, Prabhupada, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he told in his last message, while you are in this world, somehow you maintain your life with a view of eternal objective. So somehow means, Gurudev explained, you should not make some huge money or something, some effort, something like this, that will end for the sake of some excessive bodily enjoyment or comfort, or like, because he said we should not think about body comforts like having such a house and so many things. Then you need so much money and to preserve and all this, all the time this thinking is there. No, somehow you maintain yourself, but also it should not be too less. This also Gurudev told, if you become indifferent, then also you will have problem. You will not be able to do bhajan, because we are not liberated souls now. We need, so devotees, they will practice Jukta Vairagya, not too much, not too less, and in favor of devotion to Krishna. They will, first they have to maintain themselves, and their dependents, like family members or those who are depending, elderly parents, or depends on individual situation. And then if there is some extra money, then they will give for the service of ascetics and temple, or for traveling to holy place like this. But first they should have for them. And because Bhakti Yoga does not mean we are not this body, so we should torture this body or kill this body. Gurudev told that is not the purpose. When Mother Devahuti, you will hear his Harikatha. Mother Devahuti asked, then Kapil Bhagavan said, this body is Triguna. If you are attached to this body, that is bondage. So then Guru said, then what? Should we kill this body? And we said, no, this is not the point here. But we should use this body for getting ultimate goal of life. For this we got this human birth. So we have to take care for the service of Krishna and to use. Gurudev said, when the senses are engaged for some enjoyment, that does not mean taking prasad and what is minimum necessary for the body to be healthy and peaceful, all this, that is not in the category of body comfort. That means some extra things. But what is necessary, that is not. So, in Gurudev said, then those senses will be material. But when same senses are engaged in the service of Krishna, they become spiritual. So everything depends on our target. Why someone is doing something means is justified by the end. So grihastas, they should earn for their livelihood for bhajan and some suitable profession. So that is no problem. And for this, Bhakti Yoga does not mean to kill body or to torture body, but to keep it, to care for it for the sake of serving Krishna. That health. And Ayurveda is most helpful with this. You will find in Chaitanya Shikshamrita by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He recommended there a regulated life for sadhakas, those who are not liberated souls. For sadhakas of devotion, they should do this for health and all this by the principles of regulated life according to Ayurvedic principle like this. So that is recommended, is helpful. Our Gurudev also did and recommended us as far as practically possible for the sake of serving Krishna. And if you earn money and engage that in the service of Krishna, that is no problem. Everyone will be benefited. So here, these trees are also, they have this potency. Like you know, when Hanuman, when Lakshman was hit by Indrajit, he was like, he died. So there was only one cure from that Mandata mountain. Ayurvedic doctor told there is one Sanjivani herb that you have to bring to Hanuman. Then Hanuman went there, but he could not know which is this now, which herb is Sanjivani. That Ayurveda explained, but if you have no practical knowledge, then you cannot know. So then Hanuman, what he did, he took whole mountain with him. And he took there. Then Ayurvedic doctor, he found, yeah, this one I meant. So that he gave to Lakshman, and Lakshman got up. So it is my own thinking. I don't know if it is bona fide or not, but Hanuman in that Lila, he did not know what Ayurvedic this medicine is. So he brought whole mountain. But in Gaur Lila, he became Murari Gupta, and he was Ayurvedic doctor. So in that Lila, he knew all. Murari Gupta could cure you all bodily problems, mental problems, and spiritual. He could rescue everything. Very good. So tomorrow we will hear about those three our previous acharyas and also further about Gajendra Moksha.